Hello Leo, thanks for joining me for your monthly horoscope for June for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. You can also chat to me direct anytime you want through Twitter at Horoscope Ace. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to my monthly astrology magazine or your free daily horoscope to your email, please also see the link below. And also, finally, if you'd like to have a one-to-one with me, embrace your real astrology, untap your true potential, please check out the testimonials beneath this video. Well, we continue to be in a very serious phase for the world. I think the COVID-19 crisis is going to be something that's discussed for many, many years. And of course, some countries have managed their response to COVID in a different way and are emerging a bit quicker than others. And of course, the major economies are much freer places to be. So really clamping down on people's ability to move around is something that wasn't done without a great deal of forethought. But as we begin this month, I will try to factor in the different eventualities for wherever you personally are. Now, there's a sparkling alliance between the Sun and Venus in the first 5 days of this month. Is there someone in your friendship group that you actually fancy a little bit more than you'd realise? Perhaps in the past you hadn't really been totally aware of this kind of electricity between you. Then again, have you got more in common with a partner than you thought you had? And it's certainly a great time to celebrate those common traits we all share, rather than being focused on the things that sometimes make us different. But the connection between the Sun and, which obviously is your ruler, and Venus in the most sociable part of your scope would, without COVID, almost certainly see you mixing and mingling with the best of them. Now, of course, Venus is going backwards through till the end of this month. So that does require an awareness of sincerity around the way that we relate for all of us. And perhaps there could be an attraction to someone, and perhaps you're unsure about how to go forwards with this. And you know, if there is a little bit of caution, I don't think that's a bad thing. Because Mars, the planet of passion, is actually in a very sexual part of your situation, but it's right alongside Neptune. When Mars and Neptune get together in conjunctions, it's a kind of trickster bar none influence. So in the 8th house, which is very much to do with taking on challenges, transformations, being a bit more risk-taking around intimacy, I wouldn't get into something without a degree of care and thought. Also, because the Sun is squaring with Mars and Neptune through to the 18th, you might be impulsive based on what you think someone is like, and actually there may be some kind of piece of information, some history, a fact that you're not aware of, and that could leave you feeling a bit exposed. Equally, Mercury, the planet of communication, is locked away in your 12th solar house. And this suggests that, yeah, trust is an issue. It does actually forge a brilliant angle with Uranus in the first 10 days. So listening to your instincts about your career or your future in terms of being more innovative or original in your approach could pay off well, even if you're still just in the planning stage. And talking about practicalities, with Jupiter and Pluto in retrograde the whole month, in your sector of work, health, fitness, diet, and yeah, those everyday structures, I think that there could be some revisions going on. Now, they're going to be pretty well exactly together from the 22nd. If there is a job which isn't going to work out for you, perhaps because of COVID, perhaps because Uranus has been buzzing up your desire for a change around your work, then I think it is going to become a really important phase from the 22nd. Now, we also have an annular lunar eclipse on the 5th in your sister fire sign of Sagittarius. Now, this is an aspect ordinarily which could see you having to juggle your time a little bit. You can be a very popular person. A lot of people like to be with you. You emanate this radiance which people just love to be around. But maybe you're in a situation where you need to be a bit more mindful of your own needs, especially with that Jupiter-Pluto conjunction that gets tighter as this month goes on and they're retrograde. Something could be breaking down around your life organisation to be renewed in some kind of way. Perhaps the energy from the lunar eclipse needs to be directed more towards your creative talents when it comes to making money, because it does square up to Mars in your sector of money, and Mars is about yearning and desire. It's not just about our sexual impulses. But also from the 18th, Mercury goes into a retrograde. So if there is an issue around that trust, then I think it may start to show itself from then. The Sun moves into Cancer on the 20th, which is a reflective month for you. But it's joined, or alongside this, there is a very important solar eclipse, which occurs right at the start of Cancer on the 21st, but it's forging a quincunx with Saturn. If there's something in a close relationship you're not aware of, it could become quite an issue over the next 6 months. This particular solar eclipse is completely opposite from where the solar eclipse occurred in December last year. So I feel, having seen Saturn make that transition into your sector of relating since the 22nd of March, okay, it reverses back into your sector of organisation from the 2nd of July, perhaps a relationship has been a bit more touch and go over the last few months. There may have been more tension. But this solar eclipse occurs on the world point. It's a critical point, a cardinal point, and therefore it's possible that anything to do with trust around relationships in general may be something you can't just worry about. You're going to have to embrace and connect more with why you've got any concerns and try to get to the bottom of what may be driving them. Now, Venus does end its retrograde as this month draws to a close, and Mars powers its way into your sister fire sign of Aries, where he will be through to the 6th of January. This is going to be very positive for you, but it also can see you setting a new pulse to the way you approach things. And maybe Mars is going to give you the confidence to be more risk-taking about any changes that are unfolding in your situation. With Pluto, as we've seen with COVID, and the connection it had with Saturn, obviously Jupiter is not at its best in Capricorn, and then we had the conjunction between the Moon and Neptune at the start of the year on the solar return, plus the solar eclipse which we had last December. All of these things fed into the narrative of COVID, and destruction is what comes when Saturn and Pluto are together. Now, as this month comes to an end and Mars powers its way into this very dynamic area, despite the fact it will go into a retrograde from the 6th of September for 66 days, generally speaking, I think it's going to bring out your fire energy in the second half of this year, whereas the solar eclipse brings out your watery side, or at least your more sensitive or perhaps fearful side. So if there is anything you're not feeling at ease or comfortable with, I think what Mars is going to say to you is don't react to the situation, take on the challenge, get on the front foot. You are the lion, you're ruled by the sun. Mars is saying, particularly right at the end of this month, lay down the gauntlet. Don't be passive. Don't let anyone push you into the corner where you feel that you're the victim. Take on the challenge first. Be decisive. Push up to take on any challenges, whether it is a change around work, whether it is a change around a relationship. And that's going to see you ending this month balancing the more sensitive, reflective and emotional side of your nature coming through Mercury retrograde and the eclipse. But it's also giving you an opportunity to just be aware and give yourself the space to move forwards and to thrust into new experiences, because they may be coming to you. And that's what I mean about Jupiter and Pluto. Sometimes when they're together, particularly Pluto, particularly in a retrograde, whether we want the change to happen or not is irrelevant. Sometimes it will happen, and trying to hold on can make the process all the more painful. Now, if you'd like to know how this will pan out for you as an individual, beyond your zodiac sign, based on your time, date and place of birth, you can have that one-to-one with me. As I say, check out those testimonials, or you can have purchase some of my reports, which are great value, 30% off if you have a forecast for a year, as well as your character analysis. Please see the link below. But for now, take care, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.